Life in the revision trenches is not easy. You can see that I am actually lounging in my chaise in my sunroom, and the sun actually has just come out after being behind a series of gray clouds all day. But I have been staring at a computer screen since first thing this morning, working on revisions to Battleborn Bride, the book that is due back to my editors by the day after tomorrow. I haven't quite reached the halfway point. I have a lot of work yet to do. So I will be going back. I think I'm going to put aside my normal routine of taking time off after dinner to relax and not think. And I'm going to work probably until bedtime because I really need to get this done. The book is coming along well. I got some great feedback from my beta readers. And yesterday, one of them actually messaged me, and it was the person that I asked to read the Kansas portions of the book because she's from there, and she actually worked in an archives there. So she knows a lot about the history of that area. And she felt that my first chapter was very believable. It provided a good balance of information and emotion, so it wasn't overwhelming. And that really made me feel good because I think overall everybody has really liked the first chapter of the book. So the rest of the book needs a lot of work, and that's what I'm trying to do right now because I want to maintain the tension, the drama, the historical flair that is part of the first chapter throughout the course of the story, because obviously I don't want it to just flatten out and become boring because then nobody will finish it. But it is a challenge. And the main character, Sarah Jane, is going to be quite a bit different than I initially wrote her because I think she was a little bit too complacent in the events that were happening around her. She needs to be much more involved. So I am transitioning her. She's still grieving everything that has happened and is challenged by what happened to her. She's traumatized, and she's trying to figure out what to do with the rest of her life, as so many of us were at the age of 17. It's not unusual even now, but she was caught up in some very troubling times, some very horrifying events, and has to figure out how to deal with them as she moves on with her life. So this is not going to be a lighthearted book in any sense. It is definitely going to be heavy on history, and it's going to include some interesting historic figures like Mark Twain and Hannah Clapp, who is actually a famous Carson City resident. She actually came here, I believe, from the East Coast. I need to clarify that. But she came here, opened a school called the Sierra Seminary, and with Eliza Babcock, they taught many children for many years before Hannah ended up acting as a subcontractor to build the iron fence around the Nevada State Capitol building, which was really cool because women were not often hired for those types of jobs. And there was a rumor, or an urban legend, you might say, that they did not recognize that this was a woman who had placed the bid, but that is not true. Everybody knew Hannah Clapp, and she was a very well-known figure in the area based on the fact that she was teaching pretty much everyone's children. So that was definitely an urban legend. But after that, she went on to move to Reno to teach at the new University of Nevada. The university actually started out in Elko, which is to the eastern side of the state, but it moved to Reno. And Hannah taught there for many years. So she was a very important and well-known figure in Nevada history, especially in Carson City history. And I think that she's going to play a more prominent role in the book than she did initially, because she can be a very good influence, I think, on Sarah Jane. And try to help her through some of the challenges that she's facing. So we'll see how that goes. But like I said, definitely there will be mentions of Mark Twain and his family, his brother Orion, who was the territorial secretary, Orion's wife Molly, and their daughter Jenny, and things that happened to that family. There were some tragedies in that area too. It was definitely a very somber time in history. And I think it will be very understandable to modern readers based on some of the things that we're currently going through. So I do feel it's going to be, I don't know if I can say an important book, but I think it's important to present all the information that's happening in that time period and not just the story of Nevada's Constitutional Convention, even though that is an important part of national history too, because the addition to every state into the Union changed the United States a little bit. I think each state brought with them some strengths and weaknesses that affect the country as a whole. So Nevada is no different than any other state in that way. And I don't think a lot of people really understand the reasons why Nevada became a state when it did. So that's a lot of thinking to be doing right now, and my brain is tired. So that's why I've taken a break to record this video. I'm going to take a little bit more time off and have dinner and then go back to work for a few hours before bedtime. And then I'll be back at it again first thing tomorrow morning. So I'm hopeful. I don't know for sure, but I'm hopeful I can finish the revisions by tomorrow evening, if not by Wednesday morning. So when I check in with you tomorrow, I'll let you know how far I've gotten. But Battleborn Bride continues to challenge me. And like I said, I am very hopeful that people will enjoy this book. Like I said, I've gotten some really great feedback on the first chapter. So I just need to make sure the rest of the book fulfills that promise, because if the first chapter is really good and then the rest of the book falls flat, nobody's going to enjoy it. So it's yet another challenge in my writing life, but it's a good one, I think. I'm really enjoying this. I will be making changes to how I write my historical fiction in the future. I will probably plan it out even more carefully than I did this time around. Even though I had a pretty detailed outline, I think I really needed to sit with that outline for a while to determine which historic elements were most important for the story. So it's a delicate balancing act for sure. And I'm trying to think of it as a bit of a game at this point, because sometimes in the evenings when I want to relax, I like to play a game, something like Stardew Valley, which can be very relaxing. And the game is basically my character in the game, going around doing different tasks. So if I can imagine Sarah Jane as my character in a game, and I can have her go around and do different tasks, maybe that will help relax me as I'm writing a little bit, because at the moment, I'm a bit tense. Oh, but that doesn't seem to be unusual. If you've been following along with my adventures so far this year, you will notice that I'm not always the calmest person. I do feel like once I get through this revision, the book will be going back for copy edits. And then when I get those back, I will not be pressured. I will not be on a timeline. I just need to get it done before it goes back into the proofreading queue, so I can take a breath, fix whatever needs to be fixed, and then put it through proofreading without having to worry about, it needs to be back tomorrow because, or the day after tomorrow in this case. I'm looking forward to not having such a tight deadline. And as I've mentioned before, I don't plan to do this to myself ever again. I'm looking forward to the next step in this process, though. And I've tried to record this video a couple of times, so I don't remember if I mentioned, but tomorrow I will be receiving another proof copy of Haunt Season. The first copy looked great, except for the barcode. For some reason, the ISBN that I entered, the one that JT and I purchased, from Bowker. They didn't put that on the back cover, and I think I chose the wrong option somewhere along the line. So they put what I think is called an ASIN. It's an internal tracking number for Amazon. And that's not what I wanted on the back cover of my book. So I had to try to tweak it. When I looked at the previewer that they have on the site, I did see that it had the ISBN on the back cover. It looked like it's right. So I'm hoping that the proof copy comes with that this time and not that ASIN, because otherwise I'm going to be really frustrated. I'm a little, let's see, today is June 8th. The book is coming out in 18 days, and hopefully if I get this approved, because if the proof copy that comes tomorrow is good, I will be able to hit the approve button, so it will be ready to go live on June 26th. The ebook version is pretty much ready to go live. I have not put it on pre-sale yet, but I probably will sometime in the next few days. I've just been so caught up in everything going on that I haven't gotten there yet. And then I'm going to sit down with JT to get it uploaded to all of the other sites as well. So if nothing else, it will be released on Amazon on June 26, 2026. The ebook version should be available on all the platforms that we normally release on. However, I'm not sure that I will get the paperbacks all done in time, because Barnes & Noble can take quite a while for the proof copy to arrive, as well as the draft to digital proof copy. And I like to get a good look at them before I approve them. So those two paperback versions may not be available on the 26th, but everything else should be. And that feels really good, because looking at the formatted book in my hand, it is really good this time around. I know I was a little frustrated with some of the formatting challenges I had with Passion Restored, because I added those extra pages with the QR codes and the little newspaper articles and things like that. This book is much more straightforward. It doesn't include that. And so it's also a little bit thinner than Passion Restored, even though it's about the same word count. I also think I may have chosen a smaller font. I'm not 100% sure about that, but I can read it. So my vision is not great. I'm hopeful that it will be good for most people, but we'll see what happens when the book comes out. If necessary, I can release a large print version at another date, but hopefully the current one will be good, and we'll just leave it at that. So I have to get Battleborn Bride back to my editors by the day after tomorrow. Need to finalize everything for the release of Haunt Season. And then Thursday, I need to do some puttering around to prepare for the weekend, because on Friday, we are going to a bookstore opening for Bub's Books here in Carson City. And then on Saturday, we are attending Nevada Pride here in Carson City. So it's going to be another couple of busy days. We're actually going to have to restock our bookstore here, because we've sold a few copies, which is really nice. JT has only one copy of his Emma Parks compilation left. So we're very happy about that. I love the Emma Parks books. He did write those as a gift to me. I love the story. It's an urban one about a woman from a privileged background who decides she wants to make a life for herself. So she becomes a child and family services worker, which is quite interesting coming from someone who's been, raised in a very privileged life. So I really, really like those books. But then I like all of JT's books, so I'm definitely biased. Oh, but as you can tell, we have a lot going on here at the worldwide headquarters of Two More Books. I have spent the day stuck in the revision trenches, and taking a break to record this video has been helpful. I am feeling more clear-headed now. I actually first took a break to shower, because I didn't do that first thing this morning, and that helped a little bit. But sitting down to chat has definitely cleared my head more. So after dinner, I will be ready to get back to work on my manuscript, and we'll see what happens. Like I said, Hopefully I can come back tomorrow and report that the book's off to the editors, but if not, it will definitely be Wednesday because that's when I have to get it back, or else I have to reschedule my editing, and I don't plan to go there. I do still have a couple of outstanding beta reads. I haven't gotten the notes back from 2 of my beta readers, which is fine because hopefully I won't have to do much more tweaking than I have already. I'm hopeful that most people will have the same kinds of comments that my first 2 beta readers did. So we'll see how that goes, but I do feel like the book is improving, and I do think that all of this hard work is going to pay off in the end. Fingers crossed. I hope you're having a wonderful day and that you're enjoying some fun times. I don't know if you can hear, but our neighborhood crow has decided to chime in. It's very funny. We have several crows that tend to follow us around if we're out walking or if we're out in the yard. They will come and kind of chatter at us like that. And I don't know, it feels like they're watching over us because I have heard that people do make friends with crows. So I don't know. I have never left them any treats or anything, but I don't know. Maybe we are friends. But like I was saying, I hope you're having a wonderful day. I hope the weather is nice where you are, and that you've survived this Monday with very little stress, and that you're looking forward to a good week. And I will talk with you again tomorrow. I'm Cassidy Carson, and this is The Life of a Writer. Take care.